Welcome, everybody, particularly the acts in the audience. To me, this is a variety show, from the 50s and 60s, a little like Ed Sullivan meets technology. And we'll have a really big show here tonight. Of course, the pandemic's the reason for all this, and people are feeling a little frustrated and restricted and maybe isolated. And the answer is, I think, in small part, is to get entertained and have some fun. So we're looking at a series of things here, an interesting mix. Some songs which have a way back to a particular period of time, so including fiddles, lutes, cellos, dramatic readings, and even some visuals. So with all that, I think we got an interesting show, and we'll get right to it here. First, then we'll get going right away here. First, we have Maureen Brady's singing "Put a Little Love in Your Heart," which sounds good. Was a I think it was made famous by Jackie DeShannon. I was curious because it sounded familiar to me, and I looked it up, and it was released in 1968. Many of you probably weren't old enough to listen to music then, but I recall it distinctly. So Maureen has played and sang since she was 12. Started out, I think, like many people in country, and moved through a variety of genres. Basically, what she's hoping is the song lifts the spirit of the audience, which is a nice sentiment these days. If you're familiar with the song, which many of you are, she's going to add a tag, which is like an additional chorus, so you'll know what's going on. All set, Maureen?
Ready.
Okay, take it away.
Hey, you know the words? Sing along with me. Think of yourself, lend him a helping hand, put a little love in your heart. You see getting, please don't hesitate, put a little love in your heart, and the world will be a better place, and the world will be a better place for you and me. You just wait and see. Another day goes by, still the children cry, put a little love in your heart. Take a good look around, and if you're feeling down, put a little love in your heart, and the world will be a better place, and the world will be a better place for you and me. You just wait and see. If you want the world to know we won't let hatred grow, put a little love in your heart. I hope that you decide kindness will be your guide. Put a little love in your heart, and the world will be a better place, and the world will be a better place for you and me. You just wait and see. Put a little love in your heart each and every day. Put a little love in your heart, that's the way. Put a little love in your heart. Give me your eyes for just 1 second. Give me your eyes so I can see everything that I be missing. Give me your heart for humanity. Give me your arms for the broken-hearted, the ones far beyond my reach. Give me your heart for the haunted. Give me your eyes and see. Yeah, 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 yeah. Give me your eyes for just 1 second. Give me your eyes so I can see everything that I keep missing. Give me your heart for humanity. Give me your arms for the broken-hearted, the ones that are far beyond my reach. Give me the heart for the ones who come. Give me your eyes so I can see. Yeah, 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 again. Give me your arms.
Great. Thanks, Maureen. That was uplifting. And that last chorus seems particularly appropriate tonight as we're starting out here. Nice sentiment. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yep. Okay, then on to Catherine Baker, who is talking about the violin. We've got this kind of multifaceted kind of instrumentals tonight, not your normal instruments. I was thinking if we were short of people, I'd volunteer to play the kazoo, but we've got people who are doing violins, cellos, lutes, an interesting variety here. So anyway, Catherine is the violin. She started playing at 7 years old, has played mostly classical violin, but recently has gotten into Celtic fiddle tunes. That's dance music, either reels or jigs. I'm a dual citizen of Ireland, so it's kind of dear to my heart. In a different time and place, I guess people put on their dancing shoes and get ready to listen to a reel or a jig. Maybe the best we can do these days is getting ready to tap your feet. So we all set, Catherine, for fiddle music?
I'm all set, and please do get up and dance if you.
You'd probably retract that if you could see me.
The first thing I'm going to play is a jig called The Road to Lisdoon Garden, and then I'm going to play a couple of what are called planksty songs, which are also 200 or 300 years old, I think, and written in honor of people that the composer particularly admired. So here we go, get dancing.
Great. Thank you. Thank you. That's very kind of uplifting in its own way. And we'll see you again after that brief intermission.
Thank you.
And I can rest my feet for a moment and we'll move on to the next act, right? Thank you. Okay, then on to Norma Roach, who's going to do one of our dramatic readings here. A poem that she's created, To My Beer. This is an unusual time, of course. Norma, like most of us, has been doing outdoor activities like gardening and kayaking. However, she does miss her Northampton neighbor pub nights, you know, for the social gatherings, and has given some thought to missing her beer. And maybe with a nod to Dionysus, she's going to give her rendition then of her thoughts about her little bit of nostalgia here to getting to her social gatherings to have her beer. So to Norma then, To My Beer.
Thank you. To my beer. My glass of beer, object of desire, I've thirsted long for you, waiting to catch the eye of the busy bartender. But at last you come to me, a flared glass filled to the brim with citrusy IPA, not too hoppy, 16 ounces of contentment. My one beer. Tonight I'm driving home. I should make you last the evening. Through the first song, I sip cold, fresh, aromatic gold, and the level hardly changes. It seems as though you last forever. By the next song, though, reality intrudes. You are smaller. You are finite, mortal like myself. I must slow down and savor our time together. But the impulse comes to taste, to punctuate each well-remembered lyric line with fragrant pleasure on my tongue. I sip and sip again until you are no longer new, no longer hold the promise you once offered. Caution and desire, the love that wishes to preserve, and the love that yearns to consume, contend within my breast. And by the time the first set ends, you've shrunk to just an inch of tepid liquid, vaguely unpleasant and plainly insufficient. With one quick slug, this torpor ends, as all things must. And I face the break and second set with empty hands. The only remedy lies behind the bar.
Okay, thank you, Norma. I'm thirsty. I think I can address that after this is over with a beer. But, you'll probably be joining me, I suspect. Just do it in our solitary fashion these days. Okay, then next we have Lola Reed, who's going to do Exactly Like You, which is a jazz number. She's always enjoyed singing, even joined a jazz chorus. Recently joined a Friday solo singing group, which sounds kind of interesting. I think that's probably a way to deal with things in the pandemic here. I've been in a solo singing group for some time. I call it a shower, but she's come up with a different arrangement. I think it's kind of interesting that people have found ways to pursue their interests during the pandemic. So Lola, then, Exactly Like You.
Okay, hi everybody. I've been doing this Zoom thing with song for quite a while now, and it never is exactly like what we would like it to be. You know, with a live band or just a piano or whatever. So I'm using an iReal Pro app, which is does sometimes work, and I'm hoping it works now. And I'm doing Exactly Like You by Jimmy McHugh. waited. I know why I've been blue. I prayed each night for someone exactly like you. Now why should we spend money on a show or two when no one does those love scenes exactly like you? You make me feel so grand. I want to hand the world to you. You seem to understand those crazy little schemes I'm scheming, dreams I'm dreaming. I know why my mother taught me to be true. She meant me for someone exactly like you. Ba-da-dee-doo-doo, ba-da-da-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo. Do-do-ba-dee-doo, ba-da-ba-doo-doo-ba-doo-doo-doo. Now why should we spend money on a show or two when no one does those love scenes exactly like you? You make me feel so grand. I want to hand the world to you. You seem to understand those crazy little schemes I'm scheming, dreams I'm dreaming. Now I know why Mama, she taught me to be true, 'cause she meant me for someone exactly like you. Yeah.
Yeah, very nice. I'll channel my Lawrence Welk. Very nice. I think some of us will have to take another look at jazz. I've gotten completely away from it, actually. I know it's very popular, but it's just things come in and out of favor. I'll have to take another look at it. Thanks, Lola.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Okay, next, and shifting gears back to the instrumental and shifting centuries. We've got music from different generations and different centuries even. Next, Sally Popper with a Bach cello number. Sally's played since childhood, but stopped for some time and then has recently restarted. Has always played chamber music. And it turns out, and I didn't realize this, that Johann Sebastian Bach wrote 6 cello suites for unaccompanied cello numbers. Sally's playing the prelude to the first suite, which is the most popular. And that qualifies our Bachs for getting our daily dose of culture, I think, today. All set, Sally?
Thank you.
Yep. Great. Thank you, Sally. I can safely say that's my first unaccompanied cello suite. And I can cross that off my bucket list now. I'm making rapid progress here tonight. Thank you. That was very nice. Okay, then next, David Arbeitman with Hotel California, which many of you probably recognize. David has played guitar for some time, but like many of us, got away from it for a while. But again, the pandemic shows up again in a lot of these threads. During the pandemic, he's had a little more time in his hands, like most of us, and he's taken it back up, bought a new guitar, and is now playing again. He chose Hotel California because, again, these songs have produced special meanings for people and memories. He chose that because it reminds him of doing a cross-country trip on a Jeep when he was in his 20s. And Hotel California was the hit song that year. So it takes him back to that time. I wonder, and produces those kind of memories. I wonder for all of us if listening to a song like this takes us back to a simpler time. All set, David?
Yes, and I'd like to dedicate this song to my sister-in-law, Lori Naismith, who is turning 65 today. So happy birthday, Lori, who is in the audience. On a dark desert highway, cool wind in my hair, warm smell of colitas rising up in the air. Up ahead in the distance, I saw a shimmering light. My head was heavy and my eyes were dim. stopped for the night. There she stood in the doorway. I heard the mission bell. I was thinking to myself, this could be heaven, this could be hell. Then she lit up a candle and she showed me the way. There were voices in the corridor, thought I heard them say, welcome to the Hotel California. What a lovely place, what a lovely face. Plenty of room, the Hotel California. Any time of year, you can find us here. She was Tiffany twisted. She had the Mercedes Benz. She had lots of pretty boys. She calls friends. How they dance in the courtyard, sweet summer sweat. Some dance to remember, some dance to forget. So I said to the captain, please bring me my wine. He said, we haven't had that spirit here in 1969. Still the voices kept calling me from far away. Wake you up in the middle of the night just to hear them say, hey, welcome to the Hotel California. What a lovely place, what a lovely face. Plenty of room at the Hotel California. Any time of year, you can find us here. Mirrors on the ceiling, the pink champagne on ice. She said, we are all just prisoners here of our own device. In the master's chambers, they gathered for the feast. They stabbed him with their stealing knives, but they could not kill the beast. Last thing I remember, I was headed for the door, trying to find the passage back, the place I was before. Relax, said the night man, we are programmed to receive. You can check out anytime you like, but you can never leave.
Great. Thanks, David. Thanks for reminding us why we all like that song so much. You need to hear it once in a while to remember.
My pleasure.
That was very nice. Give you my best, Lawrence Welk. That was very, very nice. Okay. So after that, we have a mother-daughter, the first of half of a mother-daughter routine here. In some ways, it seems to me like multi-generational efforts like mother-daughter is the search for the Holy Grail in this process. The first half of the duo and of our dynamic duo, Batman and Robin have nothing on us. Elena Champa. If I Didn't Have, which is an original number. She's a writer of music, musician, a vocalist, a composer, is studying for masters in jazz and composition and arranging at UMass. She'll be taking the lead here, and her daughter, who I'll introduce for the next number, Lucia Dossel, is accompanying her on bass. All set, Elena?
Yeah.
Original number, If I Didn't Have.
We gotta turn our volume down. Okay. Okay. Now we don't know if they can hear us. Oh, here's this is a little bit loud. If I didn't have a phone, then maybe I would start to feel free. And if I didn't have a phone, that'd leave me time to swim in the sea. If I gave away my phone in exchange for space to roam, I'd stop listening for the ring of the sea. If I didn't have a phone, I would know you ain't calling me. If I didn't have a car, I wouldn't find myself on your street. And if I didn't have a car, I'd walk to town for something to eat. For something to eat. If I gave away my coffee, in the tank would not be hiding. My soul would hurt much less than my feet, much less than my feet. And if I didn't have a car, I wouldn't wonder when we might meet now. I didn't have a heart then, the blue be the hue of my veins now. And if I didn't have a heart, at least I still might have a brain. I might have a brain if I gave to you my heart and then you lost it in the dark. There ain't nobody to blame, nobody to blame. I got to keep my broken heart to lose the life we had, that's a shame. I gotta keep my broken heart to lose the life we had, it's a shame. I gotta keep my broken heart to lose the life we had. Really, such a shame.
very nice. Very nice. That's a special treat hearing an original number. I'm sure the audience really appreciates that. Thank you. And then I'll introduce Lucia here in a moment to do Fly Me to the Moon. I think a song that was popularized in my mind by the King of Swing, Frank Sinatra. A little bit about Lucia. She's a 2020 grad. If you're talking about the pandemic here, think about being a 2020 graduate of Northampton High School. And that was like, you know, as the pandemic took over here. But while she was there, she was a member of the band and was civically involved and a member of the Mayor's Commission. And I'd be remiss if I didn't mention she's the granddaughter of Jim Dostal, who was a well-known and respected civic leader. You know, editorially, I think involvement is one of the keys to the future of the situation we're in these days. So I wanted to highlight that. Anyway, Lucia's on as distance learning at Holland College in Canada on Prince Edward Island. Performing arts and has a streaming album of her own, In the Cloud. So we now have Lucia Dostal doing Fly Me to the Moon, accompanied by Elena on the keyboard. Okay, Lucia.
1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Fly me to the moon and let me play among the stars. Let me see what spring is like on Jupiter and Mars. In other words, hold my hand. In other words, darling, kiss me. Fill my heart with song and let me sing forevermore. You are all I long for, all I worship and adore. In other words, oh please be true. In other words, I love you. Fill my heart with song and let me sing forevermore. You are all I long for, all I worship and adore. In other words, please be true. In other words, in other words, in other words, I love you.
Great, thank you. Thank you very much. I appreciate the multi-generational effort. And like I said, that's the search for the Holy Grail these days, I think. Thank you. That's very nice. Really. Thanks a lot. Okay, that's we just divided this up into Act 1 and Act 2. That's the end of Act 1. We'll be going to Act 2 in just a moment here. Just a small kind of announcement. You know, just talking about Northampton Neighbors. You're aware it's a complete volunteer organization. And you know, relies on donations. I hate to bring up the subject, you know, during the pandemic in a way. You know, with some people, of course, everybody's been affected by it in various ways. Some people more than others. You know, with some people suffering real economic hardship and even food deprivation, which is kind of sad to think about. But if you're looking for, something to add to your list of donations, maybe you could consider Northampton Neighbors. The smallest donation is useful, to a volunteer organization. So just put it in the back of your mind. If it makes it onto your list, that's great. And if you've got your hands full with your situation, then and you're struggling to make ends meet, then hopefully God be with you and things will get better. This won't last forever. It has to be getting better soon, and we'll hope for the best here. But anyway, just a thought. So, if you're in a position to think about it, great. If not, God bless you. Okay, so keep that in the back of your mind, perhaps, and we'll move on then with keeps getting into Act 2 here. With our visual of the night with Carrie Baker, who teaches at Smith College. And is going to do photographs of the Smith College flowers on the Smith College campus. Now, the kind of connection here, well, Carrie's been involved in photography for decades and done her own shows even at places like, photography shows at Forbes and the courthouse. But how this is connected to the current situation, pandemic, which everybody is connected somehow, is when students left campus here in the spring. She went around campus taking pictures, particularly close-ups, and that with her iPhone, and then sent to students, who've been sent home, help them feel connected to the campus. So you constantly come across, all these, small adjustments and people trying to make the best of a situation and pressing on and making progress. So with that in mind, here's some of the photographs of flowers on the campus that she sent to the students so that they feel connected. Okay, Carrie? Yes.
All right.
Okay.
So great. Oh, great to see everybody. Elena and Lucia, that was beautiful. Just totally amazing. Amazing music. So as Mike said, I teach at Smith, and this was the way I remained in touch with my students. But over the course of the 6 months that I've been photographing, now closer to 8 months, I realized what an amazing treasure trove that having Smith in our community is, and particularly the plants. And I've found more time with the pandemic to spend time looking more carefully. And so I wanted to share with you some of the things I've seen since COVID hit Smith. So most of these pictures, most of these flowers are in the Botanical Garden, the President's Garden, and Chapin Garden. A few of them are not from Smith, but most of them are. I found that over the course of the months that I was photographing, that I found myself getting closer and closer to what I was seeing and paying more attention to the subtleties and the beauty that was very small, but very great. I also would often be running early in the morning, and so the dew would be on the flowers, which would add a whole nother level of interest. I would look for color, pattern, shape, texture. I would sometimes trace the lifespan of a flower because I do this on my runs. And so I'd do it every day. And so I'd watch how the flower developed as it was first blooming in its full bloom, and then as it died. And I found that each stage was so beautiful. This here is a series of bugs that I saw on the flowers. sometimes intentionally and sometimes unintentionally. Do you see the grasshopper at the top? I chased this butterfly all around the president's garden. I hope she wasn't looking out the window. I probably looked ridiculous. The color is just incredible. Did it all with an iPhone 8. Not even the latest version. So that's it. And if you would like to keep up as I photograph, my latest is the fall leaves. My Facebook page has all my photographs. So if you want to see more,
Gorgeous,
thank you.
just gorgeous.
Yeah,
Thank
yeah,
you.
yeah. They're really very interesting. Many of them looked otherworldly almost, you know, like that's what I kept thinking as I was looking at them. But we'll have to change that phrase from stop and smell the roses to stop and look at the roses.
Yeah, thank
Yeah.
you.
Yeah, no, it's very interesting. And that's there at Smith College campus, and I've walked by that my whole life. Great, thank you very much. Okay, that was Catherine Baker, and then we're going to Catherine Baker. That was Carrie Baker, who's actually related to Catherine Baker. So we've got a relative scenario going on here. And Catherine's going to do an encore of Celtic fiddle music. We put her in twice, mostly because it's dear to my heart. So you all set, Catherine?
Well, thanks, Mike. And I want to say that we're another multi-generational pair here because Carrie's
That's right.
It's wonderful to have her here in the community. They're just amazing pictures, Carrie. Thank you. So I'm just going to play two more pieces. One is called the Athwal Highlanders. This is kind of a bagpipe tune. Again, lots of dance. So tap your feet, get moving, stretch. And the other is a little slower tune, and that's called the South Wind. So we're off on the Highlanders now.
Thanks. Makes me miss Ireland a bit, but get there. I'll get there. I'm trying to get there. I was supposed to go in April, and I'll get there. In the meantime, that was a good fix. Thank you. And thanks for helping out with two selections. Okay, then moving on then to Dick Moulding, who's going to do a piano solo. As we mix these instrumentals, I mean, look, we've got violin, we've got lute, we've got piano, we've got cello. I mean, no wonder my offering to do a kazoo number didn't make the cut. So Dick's going to do a piano solo. He's been playing since the 3rd grade, describes himself as an amateur music enthusiast, and he's chosen a Scott Joplin rag. If you know Scott Joplin, he's famous for ragtime compositions and is dubbed the king of ragtime. Dick likes this selection at this time of year near Halloween because if you listen to it closely, he thinks it sounds a little bit spooky. All set, Dick?
Thank you. This is a piece called Euphonic Sounds, and it's from 1909.
Okay.
I'm going to spice it up with a little 1959.
Thank you, Dick. That's very nice. Yeah. Sounds a little like that score from the movie there. I'm trying to think of the movie.
Sting.
The Sting, right? Yeah, that's it. Thank you. Yeah, I was thinking. What reminds me a little of the Sting. Well, thanks, Dick. And we'll move on now to a dramatic reading here from Stan Pollock. Stan's written a number of poems, and they tend to be around issues that he cares about, which is the environment and social justice. In particular, he's very interested now in trying to raise awareness about environmental issues. You know, an important topic these days. You know, I think a lot of the stuff that we're experiencing is related to climate change. You know, fires, droughts, floods, and I think viruses as well. So, all set, Stan?
Yes. Thank you very much.
Yep.
Decided to do it, going to give it a try. Want to be free before I die. Give up smoking, give up drinking. Take my body is what I'm thinking. Left that junk food on that shelf. Eat that good stuff. Take care of myself. Build my strength. Run a mile. Bet this cat be round a while. That's commitment. Mother's revenge. Without hope, there's insanity. But is there hope for humanity? Because humanity is insane. Humans use their ingenuity, but think Mother Nature a gratuity. So we're not very ingenious after all. You see, there are cycles that we're breaking and pollution that we're making that our planet cannot accept. The abuse is quickly mounting and the destruction too much for counting. Mother's had more than enough. So she's unleashing her volcanoes, cleaning house with her tornadoes, and spreading heat waves through the land. It's just a logical reaction to our illogical transaction with the very hand that feeds our hungry mouths. You may think this is paranoia, but there's more in store for you if you keep kicking old mom in the shins. It's autumn time, so here's a little song about autumn. Come all you good people, wherever you are, put on your hiking boots, get out of your car. Let's walk through the woods, it ain't very far, for the leaves, they are a-changin'. Just gather some friends and go for a walk. You'll see lots of birds, there's no need to talk. View many animals, but nothing to stalk. And the leaves, they are a-changin'. Come doctors and lawyers, ministers and freaks, take off your Birkenstocks, put on your sneaks. Check out the forests, the hills and the creeks, for the leaves, they are a-changin'. Hey, hey, poets and birders and other fine folks, you'll see lots of maples, birches, and oaks. When you see all the colors, you'll say, holy smokes, 'cause the leaves, they are a-changin'. Come mothers and fathers, bring kids and some food. Get up on the mountain, the view is real good. It will brighten your spirits and lighten your mood. Yes, the leaves, they are a-changin'. All you planetary citizens, we're in the same boat. We must protect nature, so really take note. If all the trees die, that's all that she wrote, 'cause the leaves, they are a-changin'.
Great, yeah. Yeah, great, Stan. Thanks. Nice, important messages, Stan. I think I'll have to change my itinerary for tomorrow and take a walk in the woods.
Good, go for it.
No, I know that the important messages. I mean, I kept thinking as you were going through your different things, like, yeah, that's, that's something to think about. I'm glad you got your message out tonight. I mean, these messages, the more they get out, the better. You know what I mean? So
Absolutely.
I'm sure that's why you volunteered. So, thank you. Okay, so then next, moving along here, Chris Stetson, lute music. Again, not a common item. I don't hear lute music very often. Anyway, Chris has been playing since the mid 1970s. Started out like many people, I suspect, playing guitar, country blues and folk music. We talked for a moment about like Tom Paxton. I haven't heard that name, I think, in some time. But he's dabbled in other music, English, Cambodian, Italian, and he's always come back to English music and playing it on the lute. So that's what he's bringing you tonight. All set, Chris?
I'm all set, Mike. Thank you so much.
Yep. You're welcome.
Hi, everybody. What a great community. It's eclectic is our middle name. Tonight, actually, I'm going to play some Italian music. One of the things I like to do best is finding dusty old music and playing it on instruments nobody's ever heard of. I'm actually playing tonight a viola da mano, not a lute. The real lute's back there. Okay. And I'm going to play a couple of dreamy little numbers of two Italian guys named Francesco and Marco. Marco lived in Aquila, so he's called Marco dell'Aquila. And Francesco lived in Milan, so he's called Francesco de Milano. And these pieces are going on 500 years old now, so I think I have the oldest music here. And they're both called fantasias or fantasias, as we'd say. Let me just play them. So this is music from the Italian Renaissance. So think the Mona Lisa and Leonardo da Vinci. This is the music they would have heard. And the next note is Fantasia by Marco dell'Aquila.
Great. Thanks. Thanks for broadening our horizons. We're continuing the effort here to broaden our horizons and look at different century music. I agree. I think you won the contest for the oldest music. Very nice. Okay, and then last but not least, we have Linda Robinson, who's going to do a version of You Make Me Feel So Young, a pop song, I think, that was popularized by Michael Bublé. This is another multi-generational effort. She's accompanied by Arlo Green, her 14-year-old grandson, on the guitar. And I asked if somehow that was related to Arlo Guthrie, and she said it was. She used to sing classical, has always been interested in jazz, but she's chosen a pop song here, You Make Me Feel So Young, for her first public debut. All set, Linda?
Okay. All right. You make me feel so young. You make me feel like spring has sprung. And every time I see you grin, I'm such a happy individual. The moment that you speak, I want to go play hide and seek. I want to go and bounce the moon just like a toy balloon. You and I are just like a couple of tots running across the meadow, picking up lots of forget-me-nots. You make me feel so young. You make me feel there are songs to be sung, bells to be rung, and a wonderful fight to be won. And even when I'm old and gray, I'm gonna feel the way I do today, 'cause you make me feel so young.
Great, wonderful, very nice, very, very nice. What a wonderful first debut. Okay, that's great. And if Northampton Neighbors is looking for a theme song, maybe they can adopt You Made Me Feel So Young, right? Thank you, Linda. Okay, so that basically concludes the talented portion of the night. Just kind of wrapping this up, I want to thank everybody that was involved. This originally started with an idea on the events committee, a very talented committee that started out with a blank page, and this was the result, which I'm very proud of. So the events committee started it. Diane Porcella, who you know from Northampton Neighbors, provided all the support we needed to make this happen. And I'd be remiss without mentioning Nina Kleinberg, who is the computer person. Certainly all the people who are involved in the acts, and anybody watching, if doesn't probably realize anything that you're seeing or hearing is a result of Nina Kleinberg. She's the technology person, which is a complete mystery to me, being a Luddite. But if Nina wasn't available, we would have gone to Plan B, which would have been me as a Luddite using a megaphone in the backyard, announcing when acts were performing somewhere in town. But luckily, Nina's available, and if she's here in the future, we might be able to do more of this. So a big thanks to Nina, who made it all actually happen. I again want to thank the acts. Wonderful thing that you shared here tonight. I mean, think of the things we saw tonight. I mean, in terms of songs that touched various memories, instrumentals over piano, violin, I want to say lute, but I guess that was incorrect, but cello, and a couple of dramatic readings, and even some visuals for, for the full spectrum of possibilities here. What a wonderful first attempt at this. I thought it was wonderful and fun. We hope to do more of this in the future. I hope the audience enjoyed it and would join us again. And just in the back of your mind, donate if you can. If you can't, God bless you. And maybe we can close out with a round of applause if Nina can work her magic and unmute everybody.
I cannot unmute everyone, but you can all unmute yourselves.
Okay, if everybody wants to unmute, then we'll finish up with a round of applause here.
Hey, Nina.
Wonderful, wonderful, really wonderful program. Thank you very much for everybody that was involved.
Mike, who was a great MC.
The price was right. I was available and the price was right. And somebody else will enjoy doing it next time.
You're the place forever.
Yeah, right. Yeah, right. As long as I have a pulse, right? Okay. Well, this has been fun, and hopefully we'll do this again. I'd be disappointed if we don't. So, happy trails, and we'll see you in the next time.
Good night. Thank
Happy
you.
trails.
Good night. Good night, everybody. Thank you. Thank you very much.